Doo-ji arrives in Japan and penetrates deep into the criminal organization, posing as a close friend of the boss, but secretly gathering information and challenging the evil deeds. To rescue the girls kidnapped to Japan, Doo-ji knowingly enters the gang's location, which is run by the underworld boss, and tracks its location. He defeats Mr. Kang and catches the boss's attention. The boss instructs his subordinates to quickly bring Doo-ji to him. During the fight with Kang, Doo-ji learns that the gang organizes a fight once a month to recruit skilled bodyguards, and becoming the boss's bodyguard was the first step of Doo-ji's plan. Doo-ji informs his friends about the lead. At the same time, he notices someone following him on the street. Doo-ji stops the car, and the follower comes forward, introduces himself as a member of the Japanese police department, and asks Doo-ji to go with him. After Doo-ji arrives at the police station, the police question his identity. Meanwhile, team leader Jang uses his contacts to communicate with a Japanese taxi company and creates a fake identity for Doo-ji as a taxi driver trained in Japan. However, the police do not believe it and take Doo-ji to the roof for a private discussion. A police officer shows his ID card. He is a member of Interpol, the International Criminal Police Organization, and is investigating a big case related to this gang. The police investigation results are the same as what Doo-ji and his team know. The gang uses online games to lure young women, put them into huge debt, and then bring the girls to Japan. The information provided by the police shows that the gang boss's name is Matsuda, a very influential local figure, and Kang, who was defeated by Doo-ji today, was actually an undercover police agent. In fact, the police had planned for the undercover agent to get close to the boss and extract information, but Doo-ji messed up that plan. So now, the police want Doo-ji to enter the organization instead of Kang. Doo-ji's arrival is mysterious, and he is proficient in 3 languages, so the police do not believe that such a person could be a common taxi driver. Doo-ji neither said yes nor no to the police's proposal. His team discusses and decides that cooperating with the police might be useful, as they could quickly find the missing girl, Lee Soo. At this time, Doo-ji receives a call from the gang to go, and Doo-ji enters the tiger's den again. The boss was in an apartment right in front. The boss presents Doo-ji with a pair of identical shoes as a gift, but at the same time asks him to leave a finger behind because Doo-ji had disrupted his territory. At the boss's command, dozens of thugs waiting outside enter together, but Doo-ji pays no attention to any of these bad guys. He easily defeats all the henchmen using his fists and kicks. At this time, the boss and Doo-ji both receive news that Interpol, the International Police Agency, is conducting a raid. Doo-ji and the boss start fleeing together. On the street, Doo-ji says something disrespectful to the boss. The boss gets angry and wants to get out of the car and fight him. Doo-ji intentionally does not show his true strength. After some fighting, they both fall onto the train tracks. After this fight, the boss feels a kind of respect for Doo-ji. He himself offers Doo-ji to become his bodyguard. Doo-ji intentionally rejects the offer, saying it is not the right time. His friend Go-eun searches the boss's company but finds no leads. It appears that all of the company's important information is managed by non-digital methods. Doo-ji recalls the locket on the boss's chest. Since a person with the boss's character would not easily trust anyone, the key information must be with him. At this time, Interpol meets Doo-ji again and invites him to become an undercover agent. This time, Doo-ji agrees, but he needs the help of a police officer. With the help of the police officer, Doo-ji intentionally goes to a place the boss frequently visits and argues with the police officer disguised as a pedestrian. He pretends to vigorously throw the police officer onto the car. The boss in the opposite building was watching the scene with interest. Seeing Doo-ji's violent demeanor makes the boss even more pleased. This time, he even eats noodles with Doo-ji. When the time seems right, Doo-ji no longer opposes. He tells the boss a fabricated story about a gang, portraying himself as a trustworthy gangster who had been betrayed. Hearing this, the boss starts to trust Doo-ji even more and agrees to pay him a large sum of money to become his subordinate. Do-ji naturally agrees and consents to become the organization boss's bodyguard. The boss wants to give Do-ji a gift and asks if he likes young girls, stating that he has slaves ready for use at any time. Do-ji rejects the boss but realizes that the people the boss is calling slaves are the girls who were kidnapped to Japan. Next, the boss has to auction goods at the port, and Do-ji's duty is to be on security patrol. As night falls, a group of beautiful Russian girls is brought forward, and the gang members bid for them. It turns out these girls were the so-called goods, and Do-ji and his team were ready for the rescue. Do-ji, wearing a mask, kicks down a gang member, and the operation begins. Two car mechanics throw smoke bombs nearby. Taking advantage of the chaos, Go-eun arrives on a bike and unties the girls. Nearby, team leader Jang has a boat ready and safely evacuates the girls. During this time, all gang members at the scene are defeated by Do-ji's attack. However, this incident causes the boss to start suspecting Do-ji, as the event occurred immediately after Do-ji joined. Do-ji quickly finds a way to deal with this. To keep Do-ji's identity secret in Japan, car mechanics Kim Rosa and Choi Jung-woo were selling street food nearby. These days, an old man would come to their stall every day and extort money. This person is Jung Hak-sai, the former head of Yamaguchi-gumi. Yamaguchi-gumi was once notorious and people feared them, but over the years, the gang had declined. So, to make a living, the old man uses his past reputation to trick people into giving him food and money. Now, team leader Jang, disguised as the old man, calls the gang boss and claims that his team caused the incident last night. The boss easily believes this. He takes Do-ji with him to meet the old man who challenged him. Team leader Jang, Kim Rosa, and Choi Jung-woo are all disguised and ready for a fight. The boss brings hundreds of his subordinates and speaks wildly to the old man disguised as team leader Jang, claiming that the era of Yamaguchi-gumi ended long ago. The so-called head of Yamaguchi-gumi is now just a pathetic old man living off of begging. Saying this, the boss throws a dirty coin at him. According to the plan, team leader Jang and the others advance with knives. But after a few steps, team leader Jang suddenly pretends to vomit blood and turns the knife towards the boss in a fit of rage. At this moment, Do-ji steps forward and vigorously stabs team leader Jang, saving the boss who was about to be injured. Because of Do-ji's action, the boss dispels all his suspicions about him and starts to trust him. However, team leader Jang is actually fine, and the so-called stabbing and bleeding were all staged and a clever disguise. After earning the boss's trust, Do-ji is taken to the gang's main center. This is the place where online games and high-interest loans are controlled. Going further inside, Do-ji sees countless young women serving men. The fate of these girls can be easily guessed. The boss asks Do-ji to sit next to him and begins to speak about his loneliness. Having been subjected to too much betrayal, the boss does not want to trust anyone anymore, but now Do-ji is the exception. The boss decides to trust Do-ji 100%, even wanting to make him a blood brother. He hopes Do-ji will become family, not his bodyguard. Do-ji takes this opportunity and agrees. Tonight, the boss will host a grand reception for him. Do-ji informs the police about this news and tells them to get ready. At the same time, Go-eun sends the video of the boss mocking Yamaguchi-gumi to the old man. The old man immediately feels insulted and summons his remaining followers from all around. As night falls, the boss and Do-ji are drinking together. At this time, the old man and his group forcibly enter the scene. A fierce brawl breaks out between the two sides, and the police also quickly arrive. Do-ji helps the boss escape. With his skillful driving, they manage to evade the police cars behind them. After this, the boss takes him to his secret hideout. The boss was still wondering how the information was leaked, but Do-ji has already used the boss's locket to open the safe. Do-ji had stolen the locket when the boss was in danger. When the boss realized he had been deceived, he tried to kill Do-ji, but he was no match for Do-ji and was easily defeated. The seriously injured boss pulls out his gun and aims at Do-ji, But Interpol, the international police agency, arrives and shoots him. After the boss is arrested and the organization is destroyed, Go-eun successfully finds the detained girl, Lee-soo. Soon after, Lisa returns home and is reunited with her friend, Xiao-yi. Do-ji goes to the house of the thug who had tricked the girls into working in Japan and gives him a hard lesson. Of course, this time too, the team received their due payment. This money was stolen from the gang's confiscated funds. The weather is excellent. Do-ji is driving his model taxi with a victorious smile on his face. The episode ends here.